Hi everyone, Pacis here. Welcome to the first installment of Classical Music Talks with Pacis. Welcome to this series in which I will be just breaking down the many pieces I will be playing mainly, and the other pieces that are just of interest to me as a classical musician. Most of them are going to be piano pieces, some of them can be something of a varied nature, but because I'm a pianist, the music that really takes most of my interest are going to be classical music that is played on the piano. So today we're going to introduce Mozart Sonata K.284. In chronological order, it's Sonata No.6 in D major, and it's part of two installments in which I'll be talking about this whole sonata. The first installment we talk about, which is this one, we will be talking about the first and the second movement, and in the second installment we'll be talking about the third movement. So basically, let's remind ourselves, make a quick recap about what a sonata is. Sonata is a huge body of work which actually most of the time has three movements. Movements are different, distinct pieces, so it's like a piece that is constituted of three pieces. It's like a bouquet of flowers. So mainly it can be sometimes four, rarely two, but generally three movements. So which in the first movement must be quick, the second movement slow, the third movement quick again. So that is a sonata, and one of the movements, particularly the first movement, must be in sonata form. So what is sonata form? Basically, it's the equivalent of essay writing, if you understand what I mean. It's the equivalent, the musical equivalent of essay writing. And as an essay, in an essay, we have an introduction in which all the ideas are talked about, a development which narrows down every idea and just tries to stretch it, and a recapitulation in which we remember and recall the first introduction in order to end it. So it's basically an essay form of musical composition. So without further ado, let's dive in this sonata, which is, to me, whose first movement is very, very symphonic. So I think it is very, very symphonic. So it's important when actually trying to interpret music to think in a broader way. So I'm not thinking about a piano piece here. I'm thinking about a symphony, and I'm thinking about a tutti right here. Strings. Timpani. And so that is the first theme. It starts really exuberantly. It feels like, wow, right? So what is a theme in music? A theme is basically a musical idea, right? It's like this idea and what comes with it. So the first theme, I have played it for you again. Strings. Right? And there are beautiful moments like this one. The first theme is ended right now. So the second theme comes, so the second musical idea comes, and it is very interesting. Same thing. it's basically the same thing right here. It's just he's writing it a bit different, right? That's why. So it's basically the same thing that he's just tried to write in another way. So what I was telling you, it's important to think in orchestral terms when trying to interpret such music of grandeur. So for instance, this feels like clarinet and bassoon, maybe, boop, 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 right? And this feels like a flute, maybe. Or strings. And there's something about Mozart that is undeniably fun, right? In Rwanda, we call it kugushanez. He really brings this joie de vivre. I recall the last concert I made, the 22nd of January. I was very, very nervous about the concert. I didn't know. I don't wish for you to be a performing pianist. It's because the amount of nervousness before a concert, you don't know what's coming. It's like throwing yourself into the air with a parachute. You don't know if the parachute is going to work, right? You just know you've dived into air and what que sera sera, right? So I recall I was very, very nervous, and what I did was stress out a bit and freak out a bit. So like 30 minutes before the concert, I decided to warm up a bit. And for me, it's important to warm my heart up before I warm the fingers up. So if my heart is warm, my fingers can play about anything. I think I'm confident enough. Doesn't mean it's real, but my head can tell me, Pacis, you can try this or that. So I'm coming to that. I was very nervous, and what I did was just play this movement. And wow, I just felt better and prepared for the concert. So there's this incredible quality about Mozart that really is undeniable, and and especially when you hear his orchestral music. The operas are something else. When Mozart writes for choir or for opera, it's probably different. It can be heavy, it can be serious in some way, it can be dramatic. There, Mozart can be dark. But when he writes instrumental music, listen to his concertos, for instance, his piano concertos, or his sonatas, or his trios. It is just wow. There is a joke that say like Mozart comes from heaven, Beethoven goes to heaven. Of course. Which means like Mozart sounds like you cannot understand how easy he makes it sound. It's very difficult to play, by the way. My teacher, my mentor, who's a German pianist, very renowned, Martin Helmchen. Really, I told him I was going to play this piece, and he told me no, please don't, because he knows how difficult it is and play this. But I had so much fun playing this, and of course, the fun makes up for the technical difficulty and easily motivates me to play this. So, going on to the development, he tries to invent a device in which really takes over the place, which is very, very difficult to play now. That's when I felt it. From the beginning, and what is going to happen is practically the same that has happened before, it's just going to happen for the last time. So again. This is the first theme. Second theme. It brings so much lightness. So the first theme sounds a bit symphonic, a bit of lightness here. And when we go to the development, we have this invention, which is very difficult. Yeah, sorry. You know, etc, etc. And we go back. Etc. So that is basically the first movement, right? And let us go to the second movement, which is entitled Rondeau en Polonaise. Polonaise, me being around this, by the way, Polonaise is a very interesting dance because it's very, very similar to what we have in Kinyarwanda called the Kinimba. So it's that is very, very Kinyarwanda too. You can dance to that. But here we cannot hear those very, very strict rhythms like those we hear in Chopin's Polonaise, but you can get an idea. So it comes into like question, answer. Let me try again. Question, answer. Question, answer. Question, change. So what is happening in this movement is basically just bringing back the theme and changing it. So the first time he came with the big notes. Second time he came. Sorry. He's using triplets. Now he brings some trills and moderns and turns. Right? The Polonaise comes back again with another form. Even the answer changes. And we have kind of an episode, minor episode, very dramatic episode. Back. Right? We're back to the Ronda theme. Sorry, the Polonaise theme. So this is basically what happens in the whole movement. He even gets to even quicker notes. He even goes to trills. That becomes very difficult. So you see, and comes to triple. Right? etc, etc. So that is basically all for the second movement. See you in the second installment, in which we'll be talking about the theme and variations.